Oh, Jimma. What's up, guys? I am currently house sitting right now. You know what it is. But, oh, you got like a little bruise up there. What you do? Why you bleeding? You been biting on your, I don't know how you can bite on your ear. But, as the coronavirus, guys, as it continues to take down all types of markets, I came past on Twitter from Julian Chatterley. So I came across this on my Twitter, and I want you guys to watch it. Papeo or Pump, aka Pump, he is a financial advisor for cryptocurrencies, and this was 4 days ago, and it was talking about how some markets was going down and how Bitcoin is going up. Let me fix this real quick. All right, that's a lot better. So I'm going to play the video. I haven't watched it fully yet. I want to watch it when you guys watch it, and then I'll give you my reaction and give you the reaction what is currently happening in the cryptocurrency market. So I'll see you right back. Alright guys, before this video, make sure you guys come over here and check out my website, VR Crypto. Click this free Bitcoin button. It'll take you to Bitcoin Faucet. And there are cryptocurrency videos that teach you about passive income. Check them out. They're all free when you guys get a chance to. Alright guys, and this is the video where I talked about I retweeted it. So make sure you come over here and follow me at BritVR on Twitter. This is the video, and this is Pump. He is a financial advisor for cryptocurrencies. So follow that guy when you guys can.
About the impact of the coronavirus outbreak on Monday. Saw the Dow wipe out year-to-date gains, yet Bitcoin is up around 30% so far this year, far more over the last 12 months. So is it a safe haven in stormy markets or something else entirely? Morgan Creek Digital Assets co-founder and partner Anthony Pompliano joins us now. Great to have you with us.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
You made two observations about the coronavirus outbreak, not that we want to take away from the tragedy that it represents, but the first thing was mining, because a lot of that happens in China.
Yep.
Thoughts there?
Big thing is a lot of manufacturing plants are being shut down, and so those companies are losing revenue. But when it comes to mining, computers are doing most of the work. It takes very few humans, so mining's not impacted. And it's also very decentralized across the globe. And so if you get kind of a virus outbreak in one geographic area, it doesn't necessarily affect the mining hash rate nearly as much. And so I don't think that mining is really susceptible to the same things that like a traditional manufacturing company is.
Okay, we're going to come back to that, I promise you. But we'll move on to the point that I was just making there. And I think the perhaps lack of understanding about how you view crypto, specifically Bitcoin, relative to markets. A safe haven or a hedge doesn't necessarily have to be rising when markets go down.
Yeah, I think a lot of people confuse safe haven and non-correlation, right? And so a non-correlated asset just means that the value drivers are different, right? You see stocks or other assets in the traditional markets are driven by GDP, interest rates, etc. Bitcoin's not driven by that. Bitcoin is a artificially capped supply asset that's driven by demand, and demand continues to increase, and so over time you expect supply and demand economics to play out.
So sometimes you could have Bitcoin rising when markets rise. Sometimes it could go down. That's positive correlation. It can also be negative, but what you're saying is remember what the drivers are here, and they're different things.
Absolutely. Bitcoin over a long period of time has been a non-correlated asset. And what I think is exciting about that is when we see times of global instability, geopolitical uncertainty, things like coronavirus, etc., stocks, bonds, gold, etc., kind of do what you expect them to do. Bitcoin doesn't do that. And so the fact that it doesn't go up is not bad. It's a non-correlated asset. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do for your portfolio, which is exactly why we think investors should have it in their portfolio.
Critics would say, though, that, hang on a second, you're telling me to add it to my portfolio. Surely I want it to be doing sort of the opposite thing when markets are going down.
Yep. Again, as long as it is preserving your wealth or increasing it, that non-correlation makes it a safe haven asset, right? You don't want to have everything in your portfolio have the same value drivers. That non-correlation actually reduces the overall risk of the portfolio. Bitcoin has served that purpose for many, many years now. We think that it will continue to do that into the future.
So Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was recently on, and he said what's going to define crypto assets in 2020 is the utility value. Where on that curve between a store of wealth, something that you just hold and the price goes up, versus actually something that you can use is Bitcoin? Because a lot of the criticisms that I read, one, it's energy intensive. It uses a lot of energy. And two, in terms of transaction speeds, it's really slow.
Yeah, so first, when it comes to the energy consumption, Bitcoin is using majority renewable energy, right? People have an input into that business, a cost that is the energy cost. And so what they're actually doing is they're going to find the lowest cost energy, which happens to be renewable. So we see things like gas flaring, waste to energy, geothermal, hydroelectric, etc. So I think that's actually driving a lot of innovation.
True. I see a lot of criticism of that fact.
Yeah.
And if you go to China, I mean, that's coal fueled. They are fossil fueled energy.
Yeah, so there's definitely some not renewable energy, but there's many studies that have now come public where 60, 70, 80% of the energy consumption is actually renewable energy.
In total?
In total, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And then when it comes to utility on the transaction side, last year, the adjusted transaction volume on chain, so this is not exchange traded volume or anything like that, actually people sending it for one purpose or another, was over $500 billion. And so what that means is it's bigger than Venmo, Apple Pay, PayPal, et cetera, in terms of transaction volumes. And so people
as long as you're not doing it too often, I guess the point.
Well, so again, people can complain about transaction speeds, cost, et cetera, but at the end of the day, people are using this more than they're using Venmo, Apple Pay, and PayPal.
As a store of wealth, though, is the biggest argument here for Bitcoin the store of wealth?
It definitely serves a purpose as a store of wealth. We've seen that do very well. It's up 30% this year. It's up 150% over the last 12 months. But people are also using it to transact and send it for one purpose or another to either businesses or to other individuals.
Warren Buffett, very dismissive yesterday. He said shorting suitcases, i.e., people laundering money. Perhaps they're not going to use suitcases anymore. They're going to use things like digital assets, Bitcoin specifically.
So my two things with Warren, first of all, somebody should tell him that Wells Fargo, one of the companies in his portfolio, recently was found guilty of helping the Sinaloa cartel launder a lot of money. So I don't know necessarily.
Fake accounts, I guess, would be the. I don't have necessarily proof on anything else, but obviously things like that with Wells Fargo have been a concern.
And the second thing is I don't really take technology advice from somebody who uses a flip phone or doesn't use email, right? Again, you shouldn't ask me for value investing advice. And so he kind of has his domain, which he's the best in the world.
What you're saying is Warren Buffett doesn't get it, so stay out of it, basically.
People will listen to his opinion because he's one of the best investors of all time. When it comes to technology, though, I think there's better people to listen to than Warren Buffett.
You're saying he's behind the curve. Seriously behind the curve. Talk to me about Sweden, because they've launched a digital coin, or at least they're testing the testing phases. They are way more advanced, it seems, than even the Chinese, who are clearly pumping a lot of money and investment and time into this.
So these central bank digital currencies are all coming. And really what I think people need to understand is all of the central bank digital currencies are simply taking the existing monetary policy and changing the technology form factor, right? What Bitcoin does is it actually is a different monetary policy. It's not a fiat inflationary type model. And so ultimately what we're going to have is a competition of currencies, but it's not going to be a competition on technology. It won't be, are they digital, are they not? Everything will be digital. Instead, what we're going to have is a competition of monetary policy. That's, I think, where we believe that the Bitcoin monetary policy is superior to central bank monetary policies, and ultimately Bitcoin will be the winner and will be the next global reserve currency at some point in the future.
We're going to continue this conversation. There's always more to discuss. You're 100,000 call by 2021, and we're going to come back to that energy, the renewables. I'm going to do some digging. And see Pompliano there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me
on the show.
So we're back, guys. Hey, little girl. So, as I talked about yesterday, long-term, Bitcoin may be a safe haven, but that will have to exclude 2018. As of this year, it's growing. Actually, overall, it's the fastest growing asset class. All right, guys. But as of what happened this past week on the stock market, 4 days ago, this is where, hold on, let me fix this so you guys can see it a little bit better. This is where Bitcoin is at right now. And this is from 7 days. So right now, for the US companies, hedge funds around the world, I'll say this. Bitcoin right now is not a safe haven, but I could be wrong, So, let me say that again. I can be wrong. Now, I'll say this. For countries that are not developed, third world countries, Bitcoin is a safe haven because their currency inflation is crazy. Like Venezuela, you know, crazy. Venezuela shouldn't be a third world country, and that's crazy. But other than that, talking about the video, it was funny how he mentioned that Warren Buffett, you know, somebody, you know, he has Wells Fargo in his portfolio, and they've been money laundering for a long time. It was a funny video about, what is his name? The secretary, the guy who's in charge of the treasury. He says nobody's using cash for money laundering or whatever. But they've been doing that because for a very long time, because Bitcoin has only been out 2009. He couldn't admit that on TV. Crazy. Most of the money laundering and traditional cheating, everything is done through fiat, guys. All right, people like the cash in their hands. People show people cash in their hands. They can buy weapons. Just to get that out. And it was very funny when they talk about Bitcoin is very intensive for its mining profitability. It does use a lot of power. That's why I don't have Bitcoin miners. But the big guys are using, like you said, renewable energy. Genesis Mining, if you guys want to check them out. I used to have a link for them, but I don't have a link for them right now because I think it's better just to buy the coin than to just mine a coin. They're using thermal energy from, I think, Iceland. Yeah, from Iceland. Thermal energy. Now, I'm a geologist, and I know all about that thermal energy. That's what they're using. In China, they're using hydro energy. They were talking about China is big in coal, you know, and gas and all that, but I know a lot of those companies are using hydro energy. But I just want to show you guys this video. And everybody in life, you know, they're not right all the time, guys. I could be wrong. Maybe later on, I think I should do this today. If you look at the S&P 500, at the end of the day, on Friday, a shooting star was the final candle. So it hit support. Sorry, it hit resistance. All right, it hit resistance, and a shooting star on the S&P has showed up. Bitcoin has hit a major resistance. All right. The reason why I said it's not a safe haven because usually it really doesn't matter about technicals when a major event has happened. Usually you just see people take over the market and move the market up. And that's what I was looking for in Bitcoin. But in technicals, Bitcoin is coming down to a major resistance and it should push back up. So we'll see what happened on Monday. My thoughts overall on coronavirus, it could be like SARS. It could be like when Obama was the president, Ebola. It could be like when World War II happened. A lot of people don't know it was the U.S. had a major virus that happened in Kentucky, and that virus actually destroyed the Germans. It could be like that because that just disappeared out of nowhere. It could be like all this. In the U.S., we usually have control over all these big viruses, and it could be over. But like I said, they just found a case in California, and this person hasn't been to Asia or anything. That person had contact with somebody that was coming from Asia. It could be very devastating to people who are sick and elderly. People who are me and you age, we probably won't die from it because it'll be like a common flu. But for older people, it could be devastating. And another big thing, people who are trying to retire, the baby boomers, it can take them all out. Those are the people who are coming to the end of their lives right now. And it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. That's why there's so many jobs right now in the U.S. It's a lot of them. And it could take out all of those people. Hopefully it doesn't. They're saying it's airborne. And I don't know what nation. Somebody got the coronavirus and then they were healed from it and they got it again. So it can be in your system multiple times. You can catch it multiple times like the flu. That's new news. So just be safe out there. Make sure you guys wash your hands and stuff. I sometimes Uber, guys, and like I pick up people from the airport and I'm like thinking about maybe I should not do that. So it's just things, just be very cautious, wash your hands. A dog finally caught the virus, my wife told me the other day. So it can be passed through pets. You know, it's just crazy. It was passed through an animal the first time, so why wouldn't that be crazy? So it is what it is. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know you guys love me. I'm drinking on some 12-year right now, as being a home sitter right now. Just make sure you diversify yourself. I'm not a financial advisor. Diversify yourself. Buy you some property. Buy you some land. Buy you some stocks right now, because I'm looking at buying Uber. That's what I'm looking to buy right now. It's back at the low, but it all depends on what happens in this market. Buy you some cryptocurrencies. Diversify yourself. Become a landlord. Have income coming in that way. Have income coming in from Chevron. Chevron is at the low. Chevron is paying out 7% a year, guys. That's higher than a lot of banks. All right? Just to make sure you diversify yourself. We do love cryptocurrencies. I believe in the future, for me and you, because you know we're young, we love digital products. You know, it's faster and easier. A lot of older people don't see that when Pump said, don't take advice from somebody who doesn't have email or use a flip phone. Those things, it is what it is. So hit that like button, hit that subscriber button. Thank you for watching. And everybody have a good day, and everybody have a good night, and enjoy the crypto life. Peace. Look at them both. What you guys doing, huh? What you doing? Why you guys barking at people outside? You guys don't need to do that. Oh, you gonna smell his diaper? That is nasty. Ugh. Hey, chimma, 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 chimma.